So I was trying to build a Bloom team with Ayato, right? Because I really like him, and now with the new Ayato resonance that will increase the HP by 25% of all the party members. I think it's very good, very good elemental resonance. Pretty broken actually, especially for center teams. I don't have Yellow, unfortunately, so there is that. But aside from that, I want to play Ayato Bloom, okay? So I was thinking about, aside from this core, Ayato, Shincho, and then Ramsey, which character to play to trigger the bloom seeds, right? Because you want to do Virgin or Hyperbloom. And the best options appear to be two. For Virgin, Toma, because it's a shielder and it applies Pyro on the bloom, on the seeds, so they explode. You can build him full Elemental Mastery or mid Elemental Mastery and mid Alpha Elemental Mastery and Alpha HP, and it benefits a lot from the Elemental Resonance, so it's actually a pretty good increase to Toma's utility as well, which is pretty interesting overall. I am glad that this unit now is at least usable, which was not before. I mean, you can still play me for farm. In fact, I did. I have a showcase of Rainbow on my channel. But aside from that, I'm glad that Toma is now capable of doing something useful for any team, any blue team. But it's for Virgin. Aside from that, I think that I prefer Electro characters in general. Electro is my favorite element, and I prefer Hyperbloom as a reaction in general. So I was thinking about which character should I play, but I don't have Kuki. I will play her instead of Toma because she's a healer and she's scaled with the EM as well. So she will be a good Hyperbloom trigger, right? But unfortunately, I don't have her, which is really sad because I really like her. So yeah, I was trying to find a substitute to Toma as an electric unit. The problem with that is that I mean, you can play Beidou, but because Beidou has damage resistance and a small shield, which if anything, they had to Shincho's damage reduction and a little bit of eating, right? So your team is actually more tanky than expected. It's like playing Sucrostaser, right? Sucrostaser is basically the same thing. You still need to dodge a little bit, but if you don't have a skill issue, well, just get better, right? The problem is that Beidou's lightning discharge jumps on the enemies, so it appears on the enemy. It's not like Shinchu's, Toma, Shanling, Kuki, which is something that appears around you. It's an object that appears on you and goes to the enemy. Okay, to the enemies. It's just something that appears on the enemy. So it's like odds, okay, or like the Geist turret. So it's basically pretty hard to trigger the bloom seed with Beidou's burst, and also she will need a fuck ton of energy because, of course, she energy hungry and she will be the only electro unit in this team, which is a bit unfortunate. I would like to play Beidou. Beidou is one of my favorite character of field character. She's pretty strong as well. I have a C2. And I hope she will be useful in the future, maybe with Sino. We don't know that yet. Sasuke. Troll Despair, by the way, for those who know about Sino. So yeah, I was thinking about something else. Maybe Lisa can be useful. I didn't try it yet, but she will fall under the same problem of Beidou because she doesn't really have an elemental skill that creates elemental particles. So I was thinking about what else to use. I found out that actually Yae can be good because Electrocharge has that this little electric aura around the enemy that might trigger the bloom seed. So there is that, and so you can use Yae, but only if you trigger Electrocharge first, which is pretty conditional, right? So basically, the unit that triggers that deals AoE electro damage is Raiden, because the hit from elemental skill is pretty big, right? It has an AoE, so she can hit the blooms, and also playing her lets you do something else. Lets you You build their full elemental mastery. I'm glad I have a Dragon's Bane lurking around in my bag, so I started leveling up today since it's Sunday, and you can do whatever domain you want. But I didn't have enough resin because I have to finish my sacrificial sword first for my Dendro Traveler. So, aside from that, I was building Raiden with EM, and I was messing around with it. And you know what happened? That even though she's not fully built yet, because my Dragon's Bane is only level 50, not ascended, right? So, whatever. Basically, I have a Raiden on the Dendro set with EM. And you may be wondering, why do you have her on the EM set? You can on the Dendro set. You can give her the EM set, the Gilded Dreams, right? And you may be right. That may be the right decision, but I don't have a Gilded Dream set, so there is that. I cannot do that yet. But there is also something else. The Dendro set is basically good for spread and bloom teams because both Burgeon and Hyperbloom deal Dendro damage. Instead, Aggravate doesn't, right? Aggravate deals electro damage. So this set is actually pretty good. It's just that we don't have the good units to use it on yet. Unless you play some kind of Burgeon or Hyperbloom team, which are always good. So you put this set if you play Hyperbloom or Burgeon, right? So we're playing Hyperbloom, so we put this set on Raiden. And I use Instructor on Dendro Traveler because it gives elemental mastery to the whole team, which is what I care about. I want my Raiden to have as much elemental mastery as possible because she will be triggering a lot of Hyperblooms. Okay? So that's why I made a mistake before, because I have to put this Hydro and this one. And now she got the buff. Yes, 28k, which is a lot of damage. She has, with the Dendro MC buff from Instructor, 878 elemental mastery, and she still has to. She still doesn't have Dragon's Bane to level 90, right? So I think that she will easily go up to 1000 with that. I'm pretty sure it will go to 1000 elemental mastery, so the damage will probably be 30k or more. I will do an update on her damage when my Dragon's Bane will be level 90. So I think that this might be a pretty fun option. The actual version will be Ayato's Burst, Raiden elemental skill, Shinshu elemental skill and burst, or elemental skill again if you use sacrificial sword on him, and then Dendro MC skill burst, and then go back to Ayato, elemental skill, and bam,